All right, on this episode, we're going to be watching the Miami Hurricanes offense inside the 5-yard line versus Ole Miss in the semifinals for the college football playoffs. All right, let's roll it. First one up, starting at the 5-yard line. We get an inside run. It's hard to see what the scheme is, okay? And the way that I do these videos, I don't really go look at the plays ahead of time. I like to watch them with you guys. So some of these schemes I may not be 100% up to speed on what it is, but we'll be able to look at the technique of the offensive lineman still. And if you look here, watch from this angle. I'll pause it right when I see it. Boom. I think you guys can all see that what I'm looking at, but pretty cool stuff. Pancake in the end zone. Doesn't look like the ball made it in, but it looks like that's the left guard in this case. Okay, let's watch it from the beginning. Let's watch the left guard. He's in a combo, gets up to the second level, continues to run his feet. Boom, big pancake. Really good job there. Let's watch that pancake one more time. Gets up to the second level, drives his feet. Really cool. All right, we'll watch it from the other angle. All right, Ole Miss is in a 3-down defense, kind of right in between that odd look and a jam look. All right, let's see where it is. The middle linebacker, number 6, wasn't blocked here, so they're running some form of either inside zone versus, and they're trying to block it 3 down. I think the left guard might have been going to the wrong guy, right? If I had to look at how this would work based upon what they're doing right here, I would imagine the backside's got to get up to number 7. And the play side, left guard, left tackle, got to get up to number 6 right here, because you'll see here the wide receiver actually enters into the box to block this guy out here, right? So either wide receiver is a little bit confused or offensive line, but there was some miscommunication because, as you can see, nobody blocked the middle linebacker. It's just like a dive play, running out of gun. Looks like potentially inside zone. All right, not much we can cover here because I don't know exactly what they're trying to do. Like we said, there was miscommunication. Looks like the center ended up blocking that guy, so now number 7 was unblocked, who is the safety, right? But if you watch, let's watch the left guard here, okay? So let me highlight him for a second, because regardless of if he went to the right guy with his combination or not, he does something really good, right? So that offensive lineman right there, who I want us to focus on, and given the shoulder, boom. See how much he affects that defensive tackle with that big shoulder, and then the left tackle is able to get 2 hands on it and drive it off. But that initial movement, like look at the defensive lineman in this case, okay? He's completely knocked back on 1 foot, shoulder pads are raised. Right, so this is not a good position to be in as a defensive lineman, but that's because of the initial power and the pop by that left guard there. Right, so really good job by him, and he's square getting up. Good. All right. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. I think they're just running inside zone, but again, a little bit of miscommunication there, clearly. Let's see what else we can see. Good. We won't spend too much time on this play, but I'd like to see the right tackle. In this case, he looks like he's got a dry block versus this 4-eye. Right, the right tackle right here. I'd like to see him stay a little bit lower and keep his base and off his toes. As we can see when you get into, as he starts driving his feet right there, see how he gets stacked with his feet, right? Or real close with his feet, and he gets raised up. The ball ends up coming to like the backside B gap or the play side B gap, depending how you look at this play. But he's not in a good position. He's on his toes too much. Keep that base, stay low, keep driving those feet. All right, let's go to the next play. Down here now, like 1 yard line, close to the goal line. Running a power play on running back slips. Yep, just running 2-back power. Okay, it looks like they have an extra offensive lineman in the game, pulling the backside guard. Cool. We'll talk through the scheme of this. All right, now they're getting a true bear look. All right, you got inside, you got a 2-3 techniques, a 0. All right, we got defensive ends and then also linebackers mugged up. Okay, so a lot of guys on the line of scrimmage, as you can see here. All right, and I'm gonna draw it out so we're all on the same page. We got defensive end. Okay, defensive tackle, nose, defensive tackle, defensive end, right? Whether you call these guys on the outside linebackers or defensive end, doesn't really matter, or vice versa. Okay, now we got a guy mugged up right here, and a guy mugged up right here, right? So a lot of bodies on the line of scrimmage. Okay, we got 7 guys on the line of scrimmage here, plus everyone else near the box, right? And that's because we got tight end on the backside, right? Offensive line, I'll actually clear that, but tight end on the backside, okay? Then on the play side, we got extra offensive lineman 1, right there, extra offensive lineman 2, right? And then in the backfield, we also have a fullback, okay? So what personnel is this? Well, I don't know what personnel you would call this, some form of jumbo, but that's why we have all these bodies near the box in this case. So they're gonna run power, fullback kick out, left guard's gonna lead up through the hole, right? So when we talk about power, what I'm talking about is running to a tight end side. We're running where the backside guard, the left guard in this case, is pulling around, right? We got the fullback in the backfield going to kick out, and then on the play side or on the offensive line, right? Since this is that bear look, we got to have everyone blocked down and away, right? Typically, you have a combination here on the 3 technique called a deuce, but you break the deuce with a Dallas, right? Everyone blocks down, okay, all the way across. We're going first level to second level, right, all the way down, okay? So, and again, backside left tackle here is have what we call gap hinge. Tight end would have gap hinge as well, right? We got fullback kicking out. We got backside guard pulling the lead through, all right? So classic power now just with an extra offensive lineman, 2 extra offensive linemen on the play side, but very traditional scheme. Ooh, see where this play breaks down. Looks like that B gap has potential. All right, so we're getting movement up front. All right, it makes this even more challenging. All right, so defensive line all up front. They're all playing inside. All right, eyes need to be to our gap, okay, not be tied to combinations. And as you'll see here, this extra offensive lineman right here, right, gets a little bit too concerned with this defensive player there and doesn't keep his eyes through his gap. With this outside movement, they should turn this into like a tray on the run, right? So we got to have our eyes to our gap and understand with movement, right? We could be into a combination right here. See how the right tackle oversteps it too much, and we can talk through his fundamentals here in a second. But right here with the outside movement, I would love to see the number 78, the extra offensive lineman. I'd love to see him now turn this into a combination with the right tackle. Okay, so it goes from like a quad block to a tray on the move with this movement. All right, so got to have our eyes where they need to be, because with movement, things change. Okay, so now right tackle in this case, right? Right tackle right here, right? He's down block on the 3 technique, no help from the guard, all right? And as we saw, this guy's going to play across the face, all right? You don't know that ahead of time, right? So your initial movement needs to be stepping right at your target, okay? And then second step has to get down fast, right? And we have to have a good base on that second step so that if we do get movement outside by this guy, all right, we'll be able to adjust, be able to catch it, and then we'll be able to turn this into a combination with the extra offensive lineman playing tight end. All right, so I'm going to let this run. You'll be able to see that second step, how it never gets down in the ground, right? See how he's crossing over, all right? Right tackle, boom, backward step with his first step. Second step is crossing over. Now he doesn't have the ability to redirect, right? And he kind of gets thrown off the block, right? So if he had his feet first step down, now second step down right here, right? And then the number 78 had his eyes to the gap on the left. We would be creating a double team on the move. These guys would come together. The right tackle would stay square, and we would drive him off the ball this direction. Right, and you could see where the ball would end up going. But because their technique broke a little bit, this play ends up the running back ends up having to bounce it, and he loses his footing and doesn't get there, right? See the right guard. Pretty good job by the right guard. It's kind of hard to tell who everyone is because there's so many linemen in the game, but number 73 here playing right guard does a good job on this down block on the nose with some movement coming towards him. Boom, he, on a good angle, his feet underneath him. He doesn't get a lot of movement, but he's able to block him with this movement because look at the second step, okay? His second step is down, right? Let's compare the two, him and the right tackle. All right, so the right guard's second step's on the ground. Right tackle's second step is in the air, right? So not on the ground, right? He's able to react, be able to catch this movement, whereas the right tackle struggles a little bit to do so. And it simply just comes down to not having our feet underneath us, playing with quick first 2 steps. Tough on the center with this much movement. He just got to do as best he can to stay on the guy, get a piece of him. Everything's happening so fast down here on the goal line. Good gap hinge on the backside by tight end tackle. Good. I like this by number 76 here. He's playing this, extra offensive lineman and kind of that tight end wing position there next to another extra offensive lineman. So a lot of big bodies over there, but he does a good job on this down block. Boom, driving through, getting movement. Finish with your guy in the end zone, right? That's always our mission down here is finish with our guy in the end zone. If you do that, you have a great opportunity to win. All right, another play down here inside the 5. That one, obviously the guy slipped, could have been a better play. Oh, cool. So they're running like a G lead play here for a touchdown. Again, an extra offensive lineman in the game, getting down blocks on the play side, fullbacks leading through. Great job. Nice run. All right, so we'll see on this play here. This oftentimes is called G lead or a form of G, right? And G is just saying that the play side guard on the front is pulling to kick out. Right, he'll kick out end man. On the play side now, we got down blocks. All right, by these guys on the play side, working to a second level element combination. Now on the back side, everyone's just like a zone reach cutoff, right? Full gang. Everyone's trying to run as fast as they can to cut someone off on the backside, first level to second level. And then we also have our fullback leading through. Okay, so we have 2 extra out linemen on the front side, Good. So if I'm the right guard right here, and I know I'm pulling to the right, okay, I'm pulling that direction, I should be thinking I want to hit with what shoulder? My right shoulder, right? So I hit with my right shoulder, that way my head is in the hole, right? And I can kick him out, allow the fullback to insert through and lead up on this play, okay? So let's watch his initial angle. Pretty good job. He gets a hard kind of crash by that defensive end spot. Good. Now, if you cannot kick it out, it's got to turn into a log, right? So I'd like to see the fullback in this case kind of react to him. Right? If he's going to be this tight, I think he should be a little bit tighter to the offensive line so you can get that the right shoulder and on him and then head in the hole. But if there is a situation where you got to log him, right, this may be it. And then the fullback could read off of that and play off of that. But end of the day, what could have made this a little bit better by the right guard? Lose ground initially to get back down into the line of scrimmage, right? It needs to be here, right? And if you see him, his path is more on this side, right? So it gives him the opportunity to squeeze down and push him back into the hole. Doesn't matter. Got to finish at the end. Good. Good. Double pancake. Is that a double pancake? Let's see this. Looks like a double pancake. Nice. All right, let's watch the down block. Pretty good job by the right tackle down blocking. Right. Gets help from the extra tight end. Got to keep his head up. All right, let's watch here. This is something that we can all learn from. All right, the offensive lineman right there, the extra offensive lineman in the game, playing a tight end position, heavy personnel. Right, he's got a down block on a littler guy. Right, somebody walked up, whether it's a linebacker or defensive back, and if you can see here, watch what he does with that head. Right, see how he's ducking and looking down at the ground. He's so far over his toes, right, rather than having knee bend and a flat back, okay? Any smaller defenders are going to feel this and throw you by like this, right? If you're going to block someone a little bit smaller, have our feet underneath us, have our weight balance. Get your hands on them and continue to run your feet rather than lunging, and now he's standing right there in the hole. Obviously, it didn't matter here, but it will matter. Good, backside, just backside cutoff. All right, so this is like a G lead play for a touchdown. And the play is really cool because it ends up one offensive lineman on top of two, right? Down here by the goal line for a touchdown. Really good stuff by Miami. Technique wasn't perfect all around the board, right? We saw a lot of guys that could work on some stuff. But at the end of the day, when you get down here, it's about scoring. So really good job by them. Good. Go celebrate. Go celebrate. All right, down here on the 3-yard line. Good. We all saw this one. This was the one to win the game. Big play. They decided to pass the ball late in the game here. We're getting 6-man protection, tight ends helping to releasing late. Running backs checking. Let's see. Yeah, running backs got check swing. Okay, so wow, no one near him. All right. Get to watch a little bit of pass protection now. Okay, so like we said, it's 6-man protection. All right, the tight end on the right, right here, he is a delay, so he's going to be in protection for a second or so, and then he's out into his route. Okay, the running back checking his assignment and then swinging out. All right, so good job. It looks like they got slide to the left. Okay, so that means center, left guard, left tackle. All right, we're all on the zone side of this concept or this protection, knowing that we all have what's in our left gap, right? With that being said, don't just avoid for no reason, right? Like number 63 here, there's nobody immediately in that B gap. Don't just slide out to the B gap for no reason. Give your center some help. Now on the backside, we got one-on-one, right here, right guard, defensive tackle, and then right tackle is going to get some help from the tight end a little bit, and then be one-on-one with the defensive end, okay? So let's watch this. So we get a twist here, right? The center's got to see this twist. If this is a half line slide, right? With this movement, him going that way, right? Center's got to see that, set back, and then react by going back with him over here, and then you'll pass off the game with this guy coming in here, the right guard, right? So I'd like to see the center react, and now this is taken for granted. We don't know exactly their scheme. He ends up blocking him. I would just like to see him force the right guard off faster, because the right guard now is going to come all the way back to force off the right tackle, right? It's like a pirate stunt. Good job by the left tackle initially, right? Right here at number 70, this big monster of a man. He does a really good job of just kind of setting back square and being patient. He has so much length. He doesn't need to feel rushed to get out of there, right? So he does a really good job just being patient, right? He understands he's got inside help, so he doesn't have to overreact to the inside move. He can let the left guard help him, right? He needs to do a little bit better job making contact with his hands, keeping his hands on him. Right? And I think the left guard here, he could be more patient. I'd like to see the left guard stay right there, right? He can keep his eyes to the left, but stay where he is right now, right? Number 63 doesn't need to move, right? He's got nobody in his gap. So just stay where you are, get your eyes outside, give a little bit of body presence to that center. Yeah, pretty good job here, right, by the right guard in this case. Okay, he's getting an inside move with this pirate stunt. His guy's going in here. Defense end's trying to play across the face, and then they're wrapping this guy all the way around. All right, so the right guard does a really good job here of not only recognizing that and switching this off with the center, but now trying to bump the right tackle off. They don't fully get it done, but I love the process and the understanding. Right, does a good job shutting off the inside move. Now sets back, bumped off the tackle. Right, good. Way to keep working. All right, right tackle, you know you're getting some help. Good, really good set by the right tackle. All right, right tackle in this situation, you understand that you're getting a chip or you're getting some help, a little bit delayed rush for your tight end. Right, so heavy inside out, no reason to jump way out of there. Just kind of let the tight end do the work initially, and then once you are in a position to take him over, go get your hands on him. Good, big square set, really good job. Now recognize that. Guard's got to communicate, right? Off, go, go, go. Get him off of there and continue to work, right? We don't know when the ball's being thrown. Just continue to work. Let's go. Good. All right, so those were all the plays inside the 5-yard line for the Miami Hurricanes versus Ole Miss in the semifinal game. Appreciate you watching. If you're enjoying these clips, these videos, please like, share to any of your friends. We're trying to grow our football community. So if you're enjoying it, please share. Thank you.